Did you hear that, boys and girls? It's Friday, so that means we have another market watch for all of you guys. So without further ado, let's dive into this video, talk about some cards that you might want to start picking up now to get ahead of the curve before we get to see BT11 in about a month and a half, and then you're going to see cards fly off the shelves. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and talk about it. So I figured we'd start best to talk about Rena. We only talk about her a little bit once in a while just to keep an eye on her, just because we do have all four support coming. She has been steadily climbing, so she is going to be pretty quickly, if the support is really good for all fours and she is mandatory in that deck, expect this tamer to hit 20 bucks. So if you want to get ahead of the curve, make sure you pick up your playset. I really highly recommend it. It's not one of those cards that I say sleep on, keep an eye on. No. This one is one of those cards you should get your playset, because if this thing spikes to $20, like the rest, there's no alternate art, there's no upgraded version or anything like that. We could possibly see an alternate art when it comes down to BT11 later with that, as it comes as the special booster stuff, but it's something to really go for. I think she's a solid investment for now, and she will still be up in price. So that's something to look forward to. About 10 euros, so 10 cents. Not terrible. Thomas is another one that you have to keep an eye on, because Gaiomon is definitely going to be in that set. It's on the cover. So that means Thomas is probably going to be needed in some way capacity. The only way it is not is if the deck does not revolve around your opponents having 8 cards or more in their hand, and that's the only difference here. So it just really pay attention to it. It is being bought out at this point. We're at the $4.25 mark. I wouldn't be surprised if this reaches another $20 card, just because it is Gaiomon support and it's an older card out of print. And that's just one thing. It's another card to chase down. Looking at 20 euro, 0.20 euros, about 20 cents. Not bad. Another card to really keep your eye on, especially if they do any Diaboromon support anytime soon. It is overdue for some love, and the latest love was Classic Collection. But it does have an X antibody line. And once that starts getting shown off, if it's in 11, 12, 13, this card will spike up pretty quickly. For now, though, it will dip down. Just be cautious, because all it takes is a Caramon X antibody to be shown off, and this card spikes. So just watch it carefully. If you want a max rarity, make sure you grab it. About 13 euros, $13. Not terrible. Biomon's another card you should keep on your radar. This card, if whatever reason the Biomon support in that set is nuts, this card could be important and spike up again. This card could see upwards to $20 since she is out of print, and this is a max rarity, and whoever wants to do Biomon with all the way up to Bergermon, all the way up to Hohargamon. I'm messing up the name, I know it. The Mega. It's going to be very important for you to have this card here. So just watch where it's going to be for the time being. Looking at 7 euros. Not terrible. Sukuyamon's another card that let her fall for now, because right now, even with EX3, deck's not doing anything. She's not going to be doing anything crazy when it comes down to BT10, even though we have Maiden Mode coming. She's not crazy powerful. She's very useful. She has her deck's abilities and strengths, but you're going to struggle in some areas. So just, I don't think investing into her is the right play right now. She's just not overly strong enough yet. Got 6 euros here, about $6. Sukuyamon from Battle Omni has been seeing a spike, and that's just because we're in OTK format and we don't have Venusmon right now. If we had Venusmon, that would change up a lot of this. It just, right now, Sukuyamon is the only one that can prevent a OTK swing stack from killing you. So just watch out on this. This card will go up for now, and then once BT10 arrives, probably tank out. So, I mean, make your money now if you have these lying around. I think that's your best call and best investment. We're looking at 0.05 euros. Very cheap, dirt cheap. Luciman Chaos Mode. Something to take a look at here. This card is on a down climb. We're just waiting for 2 more modes. If another mode gets announced, especially its evolution form, it's level 6, and then probably a level 7, the Larval stage, this card is just going to go all the way to the moon here. There's just nothing out there that I would not say this card isn't just a ticking time bomb. Make sure you have your play sets and you have the cards you like the most. You got 34 euros, not terrible. Luciman Chaos Mode, yet again, we're looking at this one. This one's at 35. This card is climbing back up. It had a small decrease, but Mastamon is topping with this card as well, so I kind of understand. But it's also a ticking time bomb. That'll probably come back down a little bit. We're going to have to wait and see and play the waiting game. It's just really crunch numbering here, just because all it takes is Luciman's evolution, and then you got some problems to deal with. Looking at 25 euros, 25 bucks. You know, that's going to go where it goes. Tai Kamiya is another ticking time bomb, and that this card is going to go high pretty quickly, and that's all because all it takes is that all-4 support in BT11 to be shown off, and then, whoop, it's going to go to the moon. And that's important to know. So, just watch out. We're looking at $1.15 over on, Europe side. Taiga is another one. Taiga is the main boy for Tyrannomon in this set. That is BT11. We know Tyrannomon is something in this because of the game that they're using redigitized is a Taiga game. So Taiga is going to be important. We're going to see more Tyrannomon support and maybe tier 1 Tyrannomon support. So you might want this card. So, I mean, being able to reduce the cost of your Tyrannomon is going to help you go the distance. They might make it so that Taiga is one of the special promotional cards that gets reprinted. I don't know, though. So it's just better safe than sorry. Make sure you have your copies. About 0.09 euros, so 9 cents. Omnimon Merciful Mode has been seeing a small bump in buys right now. For some reason, somebody's been investing in the low ends. Somebody bought 32 copies at $1.50. I don't think this is a meme investment, but maybe people are banking on it to be a little more pricier. Who knows? It's a risky buy. Just make sure you have your playset. But outside of that, I don't see making money off of this card. $1.50. So basically $1.50 in euros. Next, Chikurimon. This card is starting to see some actually relevant plays. The thing is, we're in a format where OTK happens. If this happens to forbid it be in your security, now that big boss Digimon they had is now brought down one, and that can lead to some weird wins. So it's just something to hold on to and think about. It's just, maybe it's good to pick up this card. This card is being bought in the $2 range for right now. People are buying it left and right. So make sure you get your investments worth. About 10 cents. Not bad. Digimon Emperor is one of these cards. If they do not neuter the deck that is known as Crossheart, this card is going to be one of your benefits here. And the reason why I say that is when your opponent's Digimon, level 3 Digimon, is moved from breeding area to battle area, gain 2 memory. So Shoutmon players will either hold off on the raising, or they're going to definitely raise up and lose a couple memory. They don't really have a way of climbing higher in their stack because they don't want to waste pieces like that. Most of it's on play stuff. that kind of just go into a stack afterwards. But if you can get the raising, you could easily slow down their momentum by a turn click, and that can really help you out. It also helps even in this format, just because if you're facing heavily against security control, D-Brigade, stuff like that, where, you know, it's just going to give that extra 2 memory, and passing your turn really does help out. So, just keep this on the back of your mind. About 5.50 cents, so 0.50 euros, not bad. A delicate plan. This card is slowly creeping up again. And that's just because this format, you want to shut off options. It's going to benefit you for doing so. Just keep the eye on it. I think that's really what I have to say here. If you got extras laying around, maybe move them. But outside of that, nothing too crazy. About 2.02 cents. Not terrible. Kari, looking at $5 for you, girl. She is slowly ticking down, but she is being bought at a consistent rate. If you notice that she's had a buy almost every day, and that's not terrible. You're looking at $5 pushing. I mean, make your money now if you have this just laying around. It's not bad. About 3 euros. About $3. Mirage Gal Gamon is really interesting right now. This card was, not even joking, early June, about $2. I mean, it's been creeping up. Looking at that $7 mark. I mean, if you got this laying around, flip it. Make your money. I really don't have much more to say about it. Just make your money on this. The card is going to be really a solid bridge gap anyway, because depending on what the Mirage Gal Gamon is going to do. And I can be honest with you, make your money. You could wait and sit it out and see what happens. This card has a great evolutionary effect anyway. So if they give its evolution, the burst mode version, I forget what is it called, but it does have a burst mode. So this card will combo with this because it'll bridge really nicely, because the reason is it reduces its cost for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. So let's say they have 16. This is a free evolution, and that could lead to some weird, janky combos. Looking like 4 euros, $4. Not terrible. Angelwolmon X Antibody had a recent buyout for some reason. I'm guessing it's probably because of the Yellow War Greymon or the Shine Greymon lists. I could be wrong. I might be missing a list here that might have been using Angelwomon's X Antibody. The ability to recovery and everything like that really does help out, but it looked like it got bought out just recently. It's just been flying off the shelves ever since its release. So I don't see her coming down anytime soon. About 2 euros. Not terrible. All Force Digimon. So since we had the announcement of the BT11 cards, especially the reprints of Mass Day, All Force, and Machine Dramon are going to be equivalent to Ghost Rares, that we had the Ghost Omnimon and then the Black Alphamon. That is something you need to know. This means this is one of the cards that probably will see a lot of hunt, just because if it's All Force Digimon support and we get like Future Mode or anything above that, will be crazy. Or we get his X Antibody counterpart, this card will be bought out. Just saying. This card is one of the chase cards, and you know it. And we're looking at 9 euros. Not terrible. Machine Dramon, like I mentioned earlier, this card is on the rise. People are buying it in the $12 range and consistently buying in the $15 as well. It's very impressive to see this card holding as much value as it is. And it's going to just keep going up, because now we know for a fact that they are not higher. They're extremely high rarity. And that's like a $500 card chase. And let's be honest, unless you are really trying to chase $500 for 4 copies of Machine Dramon for an EX3 deck, better off grabbing your copies now and just sitting on them until you can get your hands on what you want. Looking at 13 euros. Not terrible at all. Duro Greymon, the official tournament pack, looking like that 18 solid mark. I don't hate it. I think that's pretty solid. Make your money's worth if you got it. 15 euros, about 15 bucks. The art's really good. It's foiled, so we have alternate art foiled, really solid. Dark Knightmon is starting to see some climb up here. Early June, it dipped, but now it's starting to slowly creep back up. And we're pretty close to 30 bucks again. And that's going to be really interesting to see how that climbs out of this. But 30 bucks is going to be really nice to see, if especially you have extra copies of this. Make your profits. About 12 euros there. Not bad. Ancient Greymon, thank you, Mario, for topping with this deck. You started a wave of people wanting to buy out this card again and make some solid profit. So, I'm going to say that again. Thank you, Mario, with the Luigi sleeves. Looking at 17 euros. Not terrible. Cool Boy X Record. Thank you. Looking at $3.20, about $4 with the shipping. That's not terrible. Cool Boy is such a needed card right now in this format. We're looking at 2 euros, about $2. Cool Boy from the pre-release is holding the value up, looking at 30 euros, $30, and that means we're probably going to look at 14 euros on their side. Not terrible. Now, Death X. Remember when I mentioned don't buy the pre-sale on this card when you had the chance? Well, this card is going to go past that pre-sale value. I warned you guys a little bit in advance that maybe you should invest into it, just because there's also that time when the pre-sale was happening that you guys got some bonus bucks back. So it was something you're going to missed out on if you didn't pick it up. I think that was the best time to get some reimbursement back. And even when it was a little bit lower, it was good. But this card's going to go up, and it's going to go up fast. Just because it's so competitively buyable, it's not even funny. And it's just so format dependent, especially if they don't hit Crossheart. This card is an instant 2 in most lists. So, just watch out. Looking at 45 euros, not terrible. Death X, we're looking at another $50 card here. This card is going to be the Zwart defeat for a while now. Death X is just too powerful of a card not to leave unchecked and balanced. Looking at 32 euros. I can live with it. Demi Vmon has been just tanking left and right. There is mass influx in the market, and that's just because there's a lot more Ultimate Cups. But, I've mentioned this before, if for some reason once the Ultimate Cup collectors get their stuff and then all of a sudden this Demi Vmon is needed, you know that it's going to get bought out pretty quickly and be used again, and this card will probably reset back into the $50, $60 range once these get bought out. But there's just plenty to go around right now. And when you got plenty, there's no reason to have a high market. Looking like 18 euros. Solid. And then Vmon is also dipping here. Take advantage of this too. I would say maybe give it another month of, events for Ultimate Cups, and this card is going to tank even further. People aren't buying it right now. There's no reason to. I get it. About 40 euros. 40 bucks for now. Just something to look forwards to coming forwards into the next couple sets. Remember, guys, I'm trying to help you guys get ahead of the curve and get your cards now and make some profit maybe in the left and right fields, maybe. But hopefully you guys know this is a risk and reward kind of system. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next video. Peace!